Sprawl, news about the war. On the front lines, our homegrown heroes are holding toe-to-toe against the pungent Petradians. But back in the barracks, folks from home and away are signing up to do their part. You might even find the odd Petradian joining our ranks to fight against their own. Go get 'em, soldier. And get 'em once for me. Talk to your local Godshed operator about how you can join the Sprawl Army today. Join the Sprawl Army today.
Any questions?
Did you see my dad? He was there. He looked okay.
No, I meant questions about the new drafting procedure. It was in the weekly update video.
You mean the propaganda video?
You know what propaganda is?
I didn't until I watched that video.
Listen, people are going to come up asking about joining the army. It's your job to decide if they're a good fit, especially considering who else is coming to enlist that day.
I thought my job was to decide who to let pass the gate.
That's also your job. This is wartime. You have to do two things now.
I wish my dad was here. He'd show me how to get out of doing two things.
Up until now, we've tolerated a 2-star average with you, Guardsman. Not anymore. We are dancing on a knife's edge here, so now you have to maintain a 2.5-star average, or it's game over. Oh, and if you don't draft the right people, we could lose the war. Also game over.
Wait, figuratively or literally?
Both.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm gonna go.
You're just gonna leave after dropping something that heavy on me?
Fine, I'll stay. We can tutorial some more.
Actually, I'm starting to see the appeal of your first plan.
I thought you might. Goodbye, Lil.
Excuse me, ma'am. Is this the place where a fella could sign up to join that war that's going on?
It is. Why? Do you know someone who's looking to...
Sure do, ma'am. His name is Elmer John, and you're looking at him. I'm talking about me, ma'am.
Yeah, I got that. Now what's a guy like you doing wanting to fight in a war like this?
I fight for one thing and one thing only. My one and only love, Glorianne.
That's very heroic, I guess. This Glorianne, is she your sweetheart?
She sure is.
And does Glorianne feel the same way about you?
She sure does. At least, I thought she did.
Dish the details, Elmer. What happened?
Well, you see, ma'am, how it is it's like this, you see. It all happened this way, it was.
Elmer, faster with the dishing.
I'm sorry, ma'am. It's just all too painful to talk about. We were engaged to be married, and I caught her in the arms of another man, my neighbor Bosco.
Doesn't sound like much of an engagement then, does it?
She took my ring and promised to be my wife. Then she broke that promise the very next day.
So you're heartbroken and running away to war?
Exactly.
Do you really think running off to war with a broken heart is the right thing to do?
No way, no how, no ma'am. The minute I saw them together, I jumped to the first conclusion in my head and left town to do the first thing I thought of doing. Now, are you going to let me join up or what?
I don't think you fully thought this through, Elmer.
Who has time for thinking when there's running away from your problems to be doing?
You're being sent to the front lines, soldier.
There's no turning back now, Elmer. Oh, Glorianne, who I caught in the arms of another man. Maybe joining up will make you love me enough so we can spend our lives together. Then I won't have to run off and join the army.
There's a shred of logic in that.
Ah, it's you again. I remember you, the miserable wretch who saw to me the last time I came to this repulsive, simmering carbuncle of a city.
I remember you too. You're that unpleasant, obnoxious Ebenezer Scrooge knockoff.
Yes, we have met. It is my intention to go straight to the bank of the Sprawl and have my substantial monies removed from this sinking barge of a city before the banks are overrun, or worse, sacked. Mr. Dunn just needs to hear my confirmation number, and I will have my fortune sheltered in a more rich, people-friendly nation.
You really think the people of the Sprawl are dumb enough to sink their own bank?
Inevitably. People flock to BS at the first real sign of danger.
You can't let the bank fail. We need that BS money to make sure the city doesn't fall.
Well, you should have thought of that before convincing the princess to turn down that delightful Prince Phineas.
Is there anything I can say to change your mind?
There is only one goblin I think of, and I think of him constantly. Whelp. Not that it is any of your business in the slightest, but that photo was taken of me and Whelp in happier times.
Where is he now?
That rotten court jester / dungeon keeper had the audacity to offer that useless goblin a job. Now he's gone. Whelp, so beautifully useless.
This is the dungeon of Malcolm the Great?
Just read the cards!
Oh, okay. This is the dungeon of Malcolm the Great. May I take a message?
Wait, who is this?
Who is this?
Lil.
Oh, Lil! It's me, Whelp!
I thought so. Listen, there's someone here I think would like to speak with you. Go ahead.
Whelp, is it really you?
It is, Your Grace.
Whelp, I never thought I'd see you again.
Well, we are on the phone.
How are you? Have you been treated poorly?
No one ever treated me as poorly as you, sir.
I miss you, Whelp.
I miss you too, sir.
Come, run away with me. We can leave this war behind us and start again with all of my money.
Sir, I never cared a jot for your money. I only wanted to be with you.
Oh, Whelp, my heart sings. No matter what happens to me now, I will dedicate my remaining life to you.
And what about your remaining money?
I'll donate it to the poor. Just kidding, but I won't take it away with me today.
Good enough. Get in there and reunite with your friend.
Where is he? Where's that meek little slunk of a man?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Did a hopelessly heartbroken fella by the name of Elmer John come by this way? Spouting a crazy notion, like running off and joining the army?
As a matter of fact, he did.
Oh, Elmer John, what have you done? Tell me, did you allow that fool to throw his life away over nothing?
I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you or not.
I have to know if you sent him off to war, because if you didn't send him, then I'd like you to send me, to get as far away from that fool as possible.
I take it you're Glorianne.
That's me, Glorianne.
The same Glorianne that was caught in the arms of another man?
It's not what it looked like. And if Elmer John had stuck around for more than a second, I could have explained that to him.
And you're sick of these lunk-headed men getting all hot and bothered and making hasty decisions over something that could have been settled by a rational conversation?
Exactly. Even if that fool Elmer John is drafted as well, and he's there waiting for me with his big dumb eyes and his cutie pie dimples, it won't matter. He won't be able to smooth talk his way back into my heart after doing something so stupid like running off and joining the war. At this point, it doesn't matter if you let him in or not. Either way, I've made up my mind.
Come on. You really don't want to know if he was or wasn't drafted? What if he's at home waiting for you with a big ol' apology banner that says, "I'm a fool, take me back"?
He's run out of apology banners this time. Him and his suspicious mind. Not to mention the wartime measures prohibiting the sale of fabric for such frivolities.
Glorianne, I gotta know, did Elmer John really find you in the arms of another man?
That's only what Elmer thought he saw. It all started when that big loud Bosco from 2 houses over came round like he always does to try to court me again. I explained to him that Elmer John had asked for my hand and that I had said yes. And then Bosco explodes and says he's gonna smash Elmer's head like a jug. So I lunged at Bosco to hold him back. The big brute! That's what Elmer saw, and the next thing I know, he's crying about going off to war.
Sounds like before you go and do the same thing, Elmer's gone and done and run off with a hurt heart. Maybe y'all should be slowing your ride and talking it through too. Am I right?
Why are you talking like that?
I thought you wanted to.
I sure don't. Can you just do me a favor and do the opposite of what you did for him, for me?
That's confusing, but okay. Now, I'm not doing this because I drafted Elmer John and I'm trying to keep you apart.
I understand.
And I'm not doing this because I didn't draft him and I want you two to be together.
Understood.
I'm doing this because I don't think you fully thought this through. I'm denying your recruitment into the army.
I guess I was acting a little hot under the collar there for a minute. Wait. Now will you tell me? What happened to him? Did he get drafted into the war?
Yes, he's on his way to the front. He won't be waiting for you when you get home.
I just hope there's someone big and strong to back him up out there.
Oh, hello, Lil! Isn't it an absolutely beautiful day? Sun shining, birds chirping. Why, a gobbo could almost sing about it.
Nice to see you again.
You too. I'm just coming from a conference of GLA members from different nations looking to help each other out.
The GLA sounds like it's thriving.
It sure is. We made some major inroads with a sympathetic group of Petrardian miners. They've offered to dig tunnels that will bring food to the Sprawl without anyone knowing. I hope we can get these plans to Queen Desdemona for her stamp of approval. Then we can get things underway.
You should take these to the Queen.
I'm on my way there now. I can't believe I didn't tell you. Big updates from the GLA. Queen Desdemona and her goblin lover, Chuck, have implemented all these different programs for non-humans. It's a great day to be a goblin. And Gary is learning to become a mage. I think he got a bit carried away playing Magnus the Magnificent.
I knew Desi would get it done.
Desi?
Desi. Queen Desdemona. I'm trying to make it a thing. Try to keep up.
Tunnel plans to increase our dwindling food supplies. Let him in post-haste. Let him in. The city's best and brightest will go over the map and construction will begin in no time. We have food! We have food! Well done, child.
Lil, it is always a pleasure.
Julian, I hope you have a fantastic day.
Do you really mean that?
I sincerely do. Keep up the great work, friend.
Thanks, Lil. You're one of the good ones.
Hey, Lil. Listen, I wanted to say I know things must be tough for you with Hamish out on the front lines and...
Thanks for checking in. I appreciate it, Cecil. I'm doing all right.
That's good to hear. If you ever need someone to talk to, you know where to find me.
I'm actually not sure I do know where to find you.
Oh, well, normally it would be at the barracks, but for the foreseeable future, I'll be running security for Her Majesty Queen Desdemona. After you finished your shift, Her Majesty and the Royal Consort have asked to see you.
Oh, Cecil. Once again, we dance this dance. You come to escort me to bigger and bigger meetings. I make fun of you. Quite the team we are.
I should have stayed in school. She's meeting with some high-ranking member of the Mages Guild to discuss battle strategy. To be honest, the guild hasn't been very supportive of how Her Majesty has handled things. She was looking for a bit of backup and wanted you specifically.
Well, she can count on me. I hope.
I hope so too. The fate of the Sprawl may rest in your hands.
It always does, Cecil. I'll see you after my shift.
Great. Thanks, Lil. And if you write your dad, tell him we all wish him well.
I will. I know he'd love to hear it. See you later, Cecil.
You must help us, child.
We have been left without shelter. It's awful.
Scarborough has fallen.
The Duchy of Scarborough has been under constant siege for the majority of the war.
Those bastards!
Quite. We finally had to flee. We couldn't stand it any longer.
We've been without food for days.
Yes, everyone is rather hungry.
I'm so sorry to hear that you've had to flee your home. I can't imagine how hard that must have been.
Thank you, child. I'm a duchess without a duchy.
We have rather a lot of refugees that need your help and your food desperately.
I still miss my beloved Sprankles. Boo-hoo!
I've been doing my best not to fantasize about poisoning my employer lately. Must not confess crimes, must resist child's powerful spray! Gah!
Excuse me, what?
All right, I did it. I lowered the bridge and let those...
Bastards?
Right, those bastards. I let them in. It was me. Oh, you sneak.
You are hereby banished from the court of Scarborough.
Prince Phineas was right. Soon the entire Sprawl will fall to the might of the kingdom of Petrard. Oh, go away. Well spotted, Guardian.
Listen, I'm just doing my job.
And that's how you truth spray your way to success.
Excellent line, milady.
But that was... Oh, never mind. Even with that settled, I'm still not sure what to do with these people.
I spent a summer growing up in Scarborough. What happened there is a crying shame. While our food supplies remain dangerously low, with the tunnel operation unlocked thanks to you, we should just be able to feed everyone, including these refugees. You may let them in.
Bless you, dear child.
Yes, thanks awfully. As I said, we are incredibly hungry.
There should be enough food for your people. We have a new plan to bring more into the Sprawl.
Regardless, you are a hero in the history of Scarborough. If our lands are ever restored to us.
Where do I enlist?
You're there. Here.
Then what are you waiting for? Sign me up already. The name is Bosco. I heard that lily-livered runt Elmer John came by this way, and I want to catch up with him so I can smash his head like a jug.
You're just the kind of guy we're looking for, but I'll need more than just a first name to sign you up.
Hoolihan.
Okay, Bosco Hoolihan. And last thing, why do you want to smash Elmer's head like a jug?
Because he's a fool.
I trust it's common practice to go around smashing people's heads like jugs where you're from?
Only if they're dumb enough to run away from a quality dame like Glorianne.
So to be clear, you're mad that he ran away from Glorianne?
Yes.
Because you wouldn't run away from Glorianne if she wanted you.
Yes, but she's made it clear that she doesn't.
This little drama is wrapping up quite nicely.
It will once I smash Elmer John's head like a jug.
I don't think a head really smashes like a jug.
How would you know? Did you grow up with hundreds of jugs around the house because your father was a jugsmith?
Jugsmith?
It's a real thing. Why are you stalling? Let me through. I want to go join the army so I can...
Smash Elmer's head like a jug. Yeah, I got it.
No. Well, yes, but I want to join the army so I can find my place. My purpose. Glorianne doesn't want me. I have come to terms with that. Maybe in the army I can find some brotherhood. Some kinship with other people who maybe have signed up for the same reasons as me. A broken heart. And a desire to break heads. Like jugs.
How sweet. Oh, and maybe while you're at it, you can make eyes at the enemy and end the war.
You wouldn't want the war to end by any means necessary?
Of course I would. I'm sorry I tried to tease you about it. Listen, Buster, we need you.
My name is Bosco,
I know.
but
Listen, Bosco, we need you.
okay, good. Look out, Elmer John. I'm coming to smash your head like a jug.
Yeah, go get him. If he's there. Honestly, I forget what I did with him.
Which is exactly why we must start using them immediately.
The risk is too great.
We need more time to study the long-term repercussions.
A luxury we can ill afford.
Your Majesty, Lil has arrived.
Thank you, Cecil. Lil, thank goodness you're here. I've got a problem.
You have an opportunity, Your Highness.
You know Tyronius Athanatos, I believe.
I've had the pleasure, I guess.
Yes, I remember this little guardsman.
And Dr. B. Have you met Dr. Beatrix von Matterhorn, Lil?
Can't say I've ever heard of her.
But we have met at the dig site where I work multiple times. I gave you... Oh no, Lil, is this lapse of memory a result of using the chronometer 3000 I gave you?
Ah, so she does have access to power crystal technology. I might have known.
Wait, Lil has had access to power crystal technology this whole time? Maybe it's not as dangerous as we imagined. She seems fine.
We don't know that. It's still too early.
How long can we wait? How many brave soldiers of the Sprawl must give their lives before we use the tools we have available?
Let me fill you in on what's going on here. The Mages Guild feels that if they had access to power crystals, they could hold back the enemy and maybe even win the war outright.
Okay, so why don't they go buy some? I know a guy in an alley. You know what? I'm gonna stop there. It's starting to sound weird.
They want all the crystals. Access to every dig site and existing stockpile in order to amplify their power.
The good doctor could simply give us the blueprints. Or better yet, the working model the child has in her possession. This would allow our research to flourish in no time.
Dr. Beatrix feels that there are too many unknown variables to use it safely on a larger scale.
The Mages Guild is and always has been reckless. There's no way I'm handing my research over to you, not until I see the full effects on my human test guinea pig here.
Yeah. Wait, what?
We both knew what this was.
Well, Lil, you've been using power crystals at the guard shed. What do you think? Are they too dangerous?
They are way too dangerous. I use the chronometer 3000 under very specific circumstances. You start manipulating time out there in the everyday world, who knows where it could lead?
Spoken like a scientist. Do you have a master's degree?
How many times do I have to tell you people? I'm 12.
Thank you for your counsel. I always appreciate having multiple opinions when it comes to big decisions. I have made up my mind. Dr. B will continue to oversee Lil's progress with the chronometer 3000, and it will stay out of the hands of the Mages Guild until we can be certain that it is safe to use in this war.
Then at least allow the guild access to the crystal reserve for the sake of the Sprawl's future.
For the time being, the reserve shall remain under my control.
For the time being.
My decision is final, Tyronius. You will find that I am not as easily swayed by you as my father was. Thanks for your insight, Lil. I'm sorry to keep putting you in this position.
Why the princess listens to you, I will never understand. It's like you're the only two people in the Dead Mums Club. My mother's terrible. That should count for something. Hopefully your words will not sway Desdemona on future matters.
I'm glad calmer heads prevailed. At least for now.
I'm just here to support my lady love. This choice has been eating her up inside. It's an important decision, and I want to do anything I can to help.
I think she made a good choice. With you, I mean.
Hey, you spoke well today, Lil. One more message for you today. I was instructed to tell you to head over to Malcolm's to meet the advisors. Good luck.
What I don't understand is why would they have summoned her to a meeting without us there? Where's the fun in that?
Without at least one of us there.
And we all know it should have been me.
You really believe that, don't you?
When it comes down to the serious, important things that affect this kingdom, I think they'd rather take advice from the strategic mind of a ranking military officer, rather than the 2 cents of a goofy, hopped-up lunatic with questionable taste in fashion. Or allow...
Ouch! We were both in the firing line on that one.
Well, all that being said, you still weren't asked to join said quorum, but she was.
And she is here.
What?
She is here. She's here. She's here. Lil is here. I really have to work on my subtlety.
Ah, Lil, you're here. We heard you got summoned to talk to the Queen and her new choice of partner for some kind of special quorum.
How was it? Was it boring? What kind of boring things did they talk about while you were there? Tell us.
Well, you guys are the royal advisors. I think it's probably okay to loop you in.
Go ahead, soldier.
Well, that mage guy Tyronius was there trying to convince the Queen to use my chronometer 3000 to help win the war.
Wait, your what?
My chronometer 3000. This thing. I was given it ages ago to rewind time at the guard shed and make sure only the right people got into the sprawl.
I knew something didn't add up. This is interesting intelligence, Lil.
Anyways, Dr. B was there.
Snore!
Dr. B was there, and she thought it was too dangerous to use, and I said it was a bad idea. And then the Queen said she'd think about it. That's it.
Thank you for that briefing, soldier. This could impact our military strategy immensely.
Not to mention the implications for my spies.
And I'm Malcolm.
Can I go now?
You're dismissed.
Welcome to Garby's Emporium of Wonder. Lil, about time you showed up. I've had every mage in town come by the shop today trying to buy up all the power crystals.
Really? You mean you don't have any left?
I wouldn't have, if I didn't hide a few away for my best customer.
I'm your only customer.
You were my only customer, but now that I cornered the mage market, I don't know if I'll be able to keep these crystals in stock. Well, the good ones anyway. The mages didn't seem to have too much interest in the cheapo ones.
Hey, by the way, before you get to shopping, this blowtorch you sold me with Fosse carved onto it? I've had the hardest time selling it. Maybe you'll want it back. Might come in handy. And I'll sell it to you for just 4 gold.
Lil, how goes the Battle of the Southern Gate?
Same old. How are things around here holding up?
Great! Business is better than ever. Something about war and the idea of impending doom really gets people out to the bar.
That's good?
You bet it is. If this keeps up, we'll finally be able to get this place up to code.
Then we can get rid of the rats.
We don't have rats! I mean, we do, but technically they have us.
Turns out they own the building and we just rent from them.
But if we make enough money, we can buy out from under them. As far as landlords go, they aren't the worst.
I could do without all the hissing.
Hey, that reminds me. Lil, you got a letter in the mail.
How did that Never mind. A letter? From who?
From Hamish.
A letter from Dad? Gimme!
I miss you. I know you might be scared right now, but don't be. It'll take tougher stuff than this little war to do in your old dad. Please let me know that you're all right, or even if you're not. I need to hear how you're doing. I love you, Lil. Dad.
Love you too, Dad. But what should I write back to him? If I tell him things are tough here, he might worry and get distracted in battle. But if I tell him I'm doing well, he might feel like I don't need him and then get distracted in battle. He's easily distracted. Oh boy, neither answer seems right.
Are you talking to me?
No. There, that should do it. Hey Arda, mind making sure this gets to where it needs to go?
Sure thing, Lil. We're all thinking of your dad, Lil.
Well, if it isn't my old pal Lil.
Oh, so now you remember me.
Always did, kiddo. Just had to play it cool while at my legitimate place of business. My former legitimate place of business, that is.
Oh no, what happened?
Tough to say, kid. Could have been any number of things. Change in management, downsizing on account of the war.
It was probably the illegal gambling operation you were running out of the concession stand.
Tough to say, kid. Regardless, I'm here on official bookie business. I've come to collect a debt from Hamish.
Sounds about right. How much does he owe you?
30 gold, and I've got the marker to prove it.
Hey, I earned that.
And so did I. Pleasure doing business with you, kiddo. But hey, I'm not all bad. I hate to take a young kid's pocket money so heartlessly.
Doesn't seem that way.
Hate to take it without giving them a chance to win it back, that is.
Fredo, no gambling.
No gambling.
No gambling, Fredo.
No gambling, just talking. Listen, the Sprawl Brawlers are playing out of town today, and they got the game on that there TV. Tell you what I'll do. You pick who wins, and I'll give you your 30 gold back. If you don't, I keep it. How does that sound to you?
That sounds like gambling.
No gambling.
I ain't hearing a no here. Which team do you want to hear about? Now Now this team is really something. The owner fired all the players and hired his extended family to play for the team. I'm talking cousins in the outfield, aunties on the pitch, and even his great-great-uncle is playing the fourth-stop swing. Never seen a team bicker so much, but when someone insults their mother, they're on. You betting on them? Which team do you want to hear about? With most of their star players being drafted in the war, the team was left with the weaklings and rejects even the army wouldn't take. What they're lacking in muscle and skill, they are also lacking in technical knowledge of the game. They're squirrely, but they can sometimes pull off a win. You betting on the Brawlers? Which team do you want to hear about? Now this team, never seen a team bicker so much. All right, kid, your bet is in. Good luck.
I bet Brawlers fans are sure wishing their star players weren't cannon fodder for an enemy army right about now. Great Uncle Zach, the Falcon's elderly but unstoppable fourth-stop swing, was just lifted up by his formidable nephews Kron and Lorik, breezing past the Brawlers' warded circle. Despite a nice attempt to unseat the Wiggly Pig, Sprawl's third whacker, Korab, ended up with a face full of mud. Truly grim stuff for the Brawlers. We're down to the final seconds here, folks. The Falcon's first flanksman, Fiona, has taken out her slingshot. She's pulling it back, and she's beamed the glistening gargoyle, and the Bosco Falcons win! Congratulations to the Bosco family on another bloody successful family reunion.
Lucky guess, kid. See you around.
Shh, Lil, I'm being discreet. Isla bet me 5 gold that I couldn't steal a bottle of fizzy when Arda's distracted.
How are you planning to do that?
I figure if I wait long enough, one of the rats will bite her and she'll freak out and maybe run around a bit.
Solid plan. I don't really have anywhere to be. I think I've done everything I need to do, but are you sure you're ready to hit the hay?